Whoa.
What?
I came in here expecting you to be your usual insufferable self. I've never seen you so bummed out after a win.
No, I'm not bummed. I'm really not. I'm genuinely excited about the win. It's just, I don't know, man. It's been a hard year.
A hard year?
Yeah. We have one of the worst goal differentials in the league. Our special teams is a mess. The advanced analytics say that we suck, and we're barely holding on to a second wildcard spot with what's basically a 500 record.
You do know that you and I are on the same points percentage pace, right?
Exactly. So you know exactly how I feel.
This is the best position I have been in late November since before COVID.
Ew. Low quality fans of a high quality Bruins team. That is a dub. That's a dub. That is a D-U-B Aronian cheese, a dub. And I know that I'm seeing a lot of the comments from a lot of you negative Nellies, you realistic Rileys, you good time ruining Gertrudes, that it's a bad team. We beat a bad team. We're a bad team that beat a bad team. Well, I'm about to hit you with a brand new perspective. A brand new perspective. Other than the obvious, let me enjoy my damn team, get off my back. No, there's a different brand new perspective. The brand new perspective is when you start a video game that is not Dark Souls, the first boss you fight isn't that strong in the grand scheme of things. At the time, you're like, dang, this guy bringing it. But no, he's beatable. Very beatable. Very beatable. Sometimes there's a tutorial boss. Sometimes it's a legitimate boss, but it's still, it's fine. You kind of, easy. I feel great. I feel strong. Easy, right? You have to start on level 1. And this team has been negative level for a while now. This is level 1. New coach. First win. Joe Sacco. Level 1. So we beat level 1. Barely squeaked it out. But they don't ask how. They ask how many. The team had an identity, which they stuck to the entire game. We'll talk a little bit about that, maybe. I don't know. But I know this Utah team, and let's just talk about it now, isn't very good. Isn't very good. They rank 30th on the power play, 26th on the penalty kill, 21st in goals for, and 24th in goals allowed. That sounds bad, right? Well, the Bruins rank worse in all of those categories, other than the penalty kill, where we hold less than a 1% success advantage. That's 75% killed versus 75.6% killed. We are 0.6% better at penalty killing than them. Good for us. Yes, they're a bad team. They are intensely similar to the Bruins in form of results, not so much the building of their team. The 5v5 numbers are middling, but the special teams are abysmal. Their starting goaltender is a train wreck, Connor Ingram, who is on my fantasy team. Connor Ingram, who is currently injured, but the backup, Vejmelka, has actually been playing some pretty decent hockey, albeit inconsistent hockey, and he gets 0 goal support when he plays. That would literally not change tonight at all. They've had more injury trouble than us, but the results are basically the same, and the results for both teams, as far as underlying numbers, is neither one should be very good right now. Well, as I mentioned, Connor Ingram is out for them, John Marino is out for them, and Sean Dursey is out for them. So they're missing a couple of important defensemen. They're starting goaltender, who isn't playing well anyway, so who really cares? For the Boston Bruins, I was actually surprised how many people thought that the lines would suddenly shift completely. I don't think it would have been a wise idea to just blend the lines the second a different guy's in charge. I think that will happen gradually. But I think the first thing you do, which is what Sacco did, is put them through an absolute hellfire practice, which did happen yesterday, and then have the lines that have the most chemistry currently and go at it. You put them on the ice, and you just see what you get out of that, right? Morgan Geeky, Pavel Zaka, David Pasternak, Marchand, Elias Lindholm, Brazeau, Merkulov, Coyle, Frederick, Beecher, Kostelik, Kepke, Lorai, McAvoy, Wotherspoon, Carlo, and then Zadorov, Peak. Korpisalo gets the start. Kostelik returns. Johnson is scratched. Georgi Merkulov stays up, thank God, although he had a mixed bag tonight. Zadorov appears to be truly relegated to the third pair, which makes him a very expensive third pairing defenseman, but this was by far his best game as a defenseman. Offensively, actually, there were some moments where I went, man, this is what I liked about your game. What happened? Doesn't matter. The win's a win. There is something I want to say before I really get into this game. The players reacting to Jim Montgomery's firing, pretty much all echoed that it was their fault, which is exactly what I want to hear. It's exactly what we all want to hear. Take ownership over this. Jim Montgomery is a good coach. I'm not going to repeat everything I said in the previous video, but it made sense to fire him. It did. If you want my opinion on that, go check out the previous video. The players pointing out that they let this guy down and led to his firing due to the lack of energy, the lack of performance, the lack of consistency. I mean, across the board, just poor play. Yes, absolutely. That man was fired not just because of the mistakes he made, which there were plenty to harp on, but largely because him not being able to get the players at a higher energy level. Had our team been blitzkrieging other teams with energetic, ferocious, forechecking, back-checking effort, then I don't think Jim gets fired when he does, even if we are 8-9-3, which we are now 9-9-3. But I think he gets a longer row. But because this team was actively giving up in games, I think that was a big part of the nail in the coffin. And I am very glad that the players had to wake up, get in a room with Don Sweeney, and Sweeney say, we're moving on from this guy. Look around the room, and then look in the mirror. But that man's fired. And more changes are coming. That is something Sweeney made very clear in the presser as well. He said that after the firing and everything, the roster will change if the results don't. I'm summarizing here. He said he will find those who love being a Boston Bruin, who want to be a Boston Bruin, and those who don't, they won't be sticking around. I mean, I'm actually, in a weird way, going through a similar thing at my work. The hospital I work at has people that are being moved on from because they don't want to be there. And they make it very clear. And the new management went, fine, bye. I don't really hope no one I work with watches this video. But it's a real thing that happens. Management comes in, they see everything, and they go, if you don't want to be here, don't be here. No one's forcing you. There's some players that had to probably really hear that. And I don't know, the team's not fixed yet or anything like that. We're going to talk about this. But it's a tough thing to sit in the room and hear. And people are being affected by it. And I'm glad that the players are taking onus over that. They are looking in the mirror going, this was our fault. And if the results don't improve, the roster will change dramatically in either a way where Sweeney tries to make hockey trades to improve the team immediately, which is a very dangerous move to make, or he will start the retool and hopefully not waste the rest of McAvoy and Pasternak's primes. Which, again, I know that someone's going to be in the comments saying, those guys suck, you should trade them too, but they're not getting moved. I mean, they're just not. That's just the truth. Neither of those players are getting chipped off. The Jeremy Swayman rumors, that's the only other thing I want to talk about how the team is bitter, upset, frustrated, holding a grudge because of his holdout, him not being ready for the season, him performing poorly. There's nothing there, man. Every single player is shutting it down. There doesn't seem to be any sort of credence to this at all, legitimacy to this at all. I think some people are running with some clickbait, which is very disappointing for some of the people it's coming from because they've been good writers for a long time. But it really does feel like this is something that they just know that they can get some views out of. There is nothing there, as far as I can tell, or a lot of the beat reporters are reporting that, like, no, this is made up bullshit. It's not real. And I mean, hopefully nothing comes out later to argue with that, because right now it just certainly doesn't look like there's anything there. And the better Korpisalo plays, which he's been playing great, the better I think Swayman will play. It'll take time, but I believe in Swayman, and Korpisalo's been great. Let's talk about this game, shall we? Puck drops! Lot of refereeing in this game, heavily in favor of the Boston Bruins. 6:17 in, though. Kostelic, just back from an injury, fights Bortuzzo. They just get mixed into it. Kostelic wanted to bring a spark to the team. That was obvious. He was wonderful. All night, he sparked the team. Kostelic will take the win in this fight. It's a couple of shots, and then he gets the upper hand and brings Bortuzzo down on his back. They get split up. That's an easy breezy, beautiful fight. Nothing special there. We'll move on, though. A weird moment about 7 minutes in. Bruins are breaking a 3-on-1. Marchand has the puck a little ahead of everyone else, but with one defender in front of him, and he opts to try to deke through his defender instead of play the 3-on-1. I got nervous. I went, oh no, is this going to be a doing too much kind of game? Is this going to be a we're gonna just try to play hero ball to make sure we're not the one being looked at? Luckily, that's not the case. The chance does basically get muffled. There's still a scoring opportunity there, but nothing high danger. 7:18 in. Krause is going to go for tripping. We're going to go to the power play. Merkulov's on the top unit. Would be on the top unit for the first 2 power plays, and then he got moved off of it, which is unfortunate to see because I do like him on that half-wall side, but it is what it is. I know they're still trying to find some stuff here. It's just nice to see him given the opportunity. There's no dice on that power play, but it was energetic. 9:44 left. Geeky's going to go for tripping. We're going to go to penalty kill. It's a really good penalty kill. And then with 6:58 left, McBain's going to go for high sticking. Elias Lindholm basically kills the first minute, but the second unit had some great chances. We don't score on it, but they did have some great chances. Immediately after that power play, I was like, hey, let's keep Merkulov on this unit, but put Zaka back on it and get Elias Lindholm the hell off of it, please. Please remember that. We're going to get there. 2:23 left. Lorai, a nice move to get around Cooley, leads to a slash. We're going to the power play. We don't do anything with it. So the power play went 0 for 3 in the first period. The team's not suddenly a new team, is, I guess, the point I'm making here. But the energy was way better. And defensively, there was a real effort. And I don't just simply mean, hey, they were skating. No, do you know how every team we've played so far has just been able to skate over the blue line into our zone unimpeded? Well, now they can't. At least against Utah. It felt like it was more difficult to take our zone. We were meeting players up at that blue line with coverage behind them. It was more of a stand-up defense, which I really liked. Not so much prevent as it was attacking them before they could get set up. I enjoyed that part. Second period starts, 3:37 in. Pasternak intercepts a puck to spring himself on a breakaway. Gets hooked by McBain. We're going on another power play. And during the penalty kill for Utah, Vejmelka makes a few ridiculous saves, but finally falters as a blast from the right circle squeaks through the pads and lands directly behind him. And Marchand is there to smack it into the empty net, but somehow Cole gets there on time and slams the door shut. No dice on the rest of the power play. God, this team, there's so many chances. There's so many opportunities, and it's just not happening. 5:29 in. Coyle's going to go for tripping. Penalty kill. We're going to kill it. Another strong penalty kill. And then with 7:40 left, Brazeau and Lamoureux collide awkwardly. I didn't think there was a penalty on either one of them here. I think it's literally just a collision where they both have their heads down. But they both head to the bench to get looked at. Brazeau does spend some extra time on the ice, but he doesn't miss any shifts after that. The play continues with Zadorov wiping out Michelli on some late contact on the right wall when they come back into our zone. Surprised there wasn't a call on that, but there is a call immediately after when Cooley is holding Lindholm, which was the correct call, but also I'm really surprised Zadorov escaped this as well. So we're going to the power play. Again, I think the refereeing was very much in our favor tonight. I mean, sometimes that happens, and I'll certainly take it on a night like tonight. On the power play that I didn't think we deserved, we did it. We actually did it. Marchand controls long enough to draw 2 defenders over by him in that right circle and then flips the puck to McAvoy on the top of the slot. He's going to quickly move it to Pasternak, who's going to fake shot, but really just slams it into the front of the crease looking for a tip from either Marchand or Elias Lindholm, who's there. Sorry, Zaka or Elias Lindholm's there. Either Zaka or Marchand. Doesn't matter. Vejmelka makes the first save, but the puck bounces out to Elias Lindholm and just gets to go around him and dunk this. I guess when Hampus Lindholm isn't in the game, I don't have to say Elias Lindholm every time. But it is a good habit to get into. Either way, it's a free goal for Lindholm, who, it's barely a celebration at this point. He looks to the sky, and I swear the entire building knew exactly what he was doing. Thank Bobby Orr. My goodness. He hasn't scored since the second week of October. I think it's his first power play goal of the year. At least 5-on-4 power play goal. It's been a tough road for Elias Lindholm. I didn't think Lindholm was very good in this game, but this was very much needed for him. Huge weight off his shoulders. He got a goal. He can feel good about that. On the next play off of the faceoff, Kostelic doesn't appreciate a hit from Bortuzzo, and they shed him for the second time this game, and Kostelic wails on this man's brain basket so intensely. And when Bortuzzo's collapsing, he's just continuing to wail on this dude. And then they're side by side on the ice, like a couple who loves each other still, staring at each other in bed, just glaring into each other's eyes. The love is there, but instead in this scenario, one of them is punching the other in the face over and over, horizontally. And no, I didn't mean that sexually. I don't think you can take that sexually. Doesn't matter. The guy's just beating the shit out of the man. They finally get split up. I don't remember the last time I saw two players on their shoulders on the ice and one of them still just jackrabbit. It's so good. Anyway, Kostelic did his role tonight. It's all I'm trying to get at. Of course, Kostelic is going to get the instigator. We're going to go to the penalty kill directly after getting the first goal of the game. Look, I think Brick was right when he said that's a penalty you're okay taking and okay killing. Yeah? Yeah. But had they scored on this, it would have deflated everything. We had been all over them up to this point. We are out shooting them by a margin. We are out possessing them. We are closing out every defensive moment for them. And then we take this penalty right after scoring a goal on the power play, finally beating Vejmelka. There's a little piece of you that goes, I kind of would have loved this not to happen right now. It doesn't matter. We kill it. And we're going to go to the third period. And it's just going to be special teams time. 1:54 in, Kesselring for cross-checking. We're going to power play. Nope. 6:56 left of the period. And the period's been mostly owned by Utah, but I do believe that this was the push we were waiting for from them. Koepke is going to go for slashing. Koepke, I thought, up until he got scratched, was playing solid hockey. I was surprised when he got scratched. And now this game is just not pleasant for him. But that fourth line was still pretty good. I don't think Koepke was bad. I just think he had a couple moments like this one that were disappointing. So we're going to go back to the penalty kill. We kill it. 1:38 left. Marchand gets behind the defense. Stenlund forced to slash to prevent the chance. We're going to the power play. After Lindholm comically gets blocked 3 times shooting at an empty net because they pull Vejmelka to make it 5-on-5, really, just to give them a chance to tie this game. Pasta buries it 2-0. Elias Lindholm, he keeps trying to get the freebie, and it just keeps getting blocked. It was funny. Problem is, this was played with a high stick, so it's no goal, and then they get back in our zone during the 5-on-5 while they're technically on the penalty kill. And boy, that was intense. And every one of us had the thought of like, this is the way the Bruins are going to lose this game. Getting an empty netter waved off because it was played with a high stick before he shot it. And then they're going to come back into our zone, down a man, and still score. They didn't. We won. Thank goodness. Thank goodness. It's a dub! Let's talk about some game notes. Couple things. There's no wholesale changes that got made immediately. But the energy was better. We take that. The standing them up on the blue line was far better. We absolutely take that. The defense, the penalty kill was far more aggressive, but individually. This is something that's been bothering me to the end of time. our penalty kill was overcommitting to be aggressive constantly. Zadorov would leave his post to help in the corner. Carlo would do the same to help behind the net. Fill in a name, they were doing it. Not tonight. One guy went to go get aggressive, maybe two if they're playing the same side on a wall. Never did someone get pulled too far from the net on the opposite covering side. That was extremely important and a huge difference from what I've been seeing from the penalty kill previously. Play your position. Play your position. If they're gonna lose that board battle and someone has to step in out of desperation, fine. Don't leave your post and just give a guy a free chance on a cross slot pass. Way better. Way better. I've already mentioned standing up on the blue line. The negative game note I have there are some certain individuals that are in trouble of being viewed as not part of the long-term solution. Trent Frederick is one of those individuals. He needs to be a hell of a lot better. And if he's not going to be, he's going to get shipped off at the deadline, especially if the results don't improve. There are certain players. Trent Frederick is at the top of that list. He was not very good tonight, I didn't think. Kostelik's taking a role from him because he is playing this aggressive style, but is also finding some finishing touches, although that was earlier in the season. Trent Frederick has to have some really nice games over the next 15 to 20, even if the team's not doing well. Otherwise, he's not going to get to stay a Bruin. And no player wants to get traded, right? I mean, I guess some do, but in different scenarios. I don't think Trent Frederick's in the scenario where he wants to get traded. There are other names to add to that list, but he really stuck out to me tonight as somebody who just didn't quite have it. And he can't afford too many games where he doesn't have it. He's had a really slow start to the season. Merkulov, highs and lows. I don't know. There's some good there. He's a good trigger man. And I wish he would be utilized more as a trigger man who can facilitate. Sometimes he tries these plays that you're like, dude, you're not in the AHL anymore. These behind the back, through the legs, kind of different fancy stuff where you just go, no one's fallen for that. Like, you have to be really good at selling it to make someone bite on that right now. So he needs to continue to simplify his game, but I would still keep him in the lineup. I would add Patro to this lineup too and push somebody out. It's a different conversation that I don't really want to get into right now, but I would like to see them continue to grow, and with where this team is right now, why not? Why not? But a dub is a dub. We take those. It's a huge development for this team just to have some progress, particularly in the defensive zone, I think. Obviously, the offense has to be way better. But the style that they played tonight and the identity that they adopted was, we are going to get our chance. And they capitalized only once, but they had a lot more chances than that. And Vejmelka played a hell of a game. But you will not get anything easy on our goaltender. Nothing's going to come easy. It's the New York Islanders. I know, it's not enjoyable, it's not fun, it's boring hockey. But it's how this team has to play to win games. It looked like they had an identity tonight. It's way too early to assume that's going to continue. But I'm going to take this as a huge win. And I think a lot of other people did too. Also, it's just fun. Thank God, my team won a game. I'm going to root for that. Go Bees. Go Bees! Of course, we have to give a huge thank you to everyone who's supporting this channel, especially the high-quality inspectors, our top-line tier members, Nibbler4377, EKM Productions, Chris and Erica, Jeff with a G, Tommy Braga, The Bugman, Roland22, GD Viperworks, Len Kreutz, Moonlighter TV, Brock Nope, Han Slomo, Coach D, The Atomic Lizard, Bradley Johnson, Aaron Adams, Brett Arney, Pincent, Adam Ella, Big Bad Bruin, and Nick Citrullo. Thank you all so much for supporting the channel. You're all studs and studettes. And of course, a huge thank you to the Stallions, our all-star tier members, Levi Catalani, Bagel, Joel, Doots42, Heil E. Coyote, Darren Woodbury, Abraxion, John Kirk, Michael DePaulo, Wolf Warrior, Vinny, Adrian Winter, Tupton Ditashi, Nightmare Eco, Bruin Smash, DeKingery, The Only Newts, A Tasty Snack, Boston Stringler, Dash Riprock, Jacob Pratt, and Jeremy. You are all absolute legends. I appreciate you eternally. And as usual, go Bees!